So today is the 27th. So today's mathematics is what?
Today's mathematics is wisdom, wisdom in God. Wisdom is the wise words being spoken. But those know who wisdom is. God is the supreme being, Asiatic black man.
But why? But today is actually wisdom God. Together, the two are together. Why did you tell the brother? Why did you tell him that wasn't, you know?
No, I did not tell him that. I'm saying he come on to the cipher adding on. Correct me if I said today's mathematics is wisdom God.
Right. I'm looking at your thing, but the way you built on the mathematics though wasn't right and exact. Because you said, I was just looking at it and I was like, wait a minute now, he had to make a typo or a mistake or something. You said
I'm doing y'all understand this. I'm writing this while I'm also working too.
Here you go. You said, yeah, today's mathematics is wisdom. No, that's not it. That's not it. Hold on. Yeah, you said today's mathematics is wisdom, all being born to God. And then you said it's the wise word spoken by a wise man. God is the supreme being, black man from Asia. He's the original man, meaning the original of all, the maker and the owner, the builder and destroyer. But then the God said, he said, peace isn't today, peace, is it not wisdom God, or being born to born? And then you disagreed with that. And I was like, wait a minute, how did he disagree with that? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, that is today's mathematics. Today isn't the second. If it was the second, you would just say today is wisdom. Yeah, but today's the 27th, so today would, right. So
wisdom God.
Right, wisdom God, right.
Born into existence.
Right. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Also, in other words, it was a mistake. You saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm doing it as I'm busy. I'm doing it as I'm busy working and shit. As you see, I'm at work right now.
Right. So, but when the God said no, isn't it wisdom God? Like it looked like at that point you'd have been like,
no, he was seeing. No, he was. See, I see the brother Mujahid. I ain't saying I don't really know the brother like that, whatever. But you know, sometimes the brother becoming sideways and stuff like that or whatever. Now, I respect any brother. You know, you deal even in nation in the nation. But right. if you ain't dealing per se in the 5% nation, are you really now with MGT? If you like straight pro, he's supposed to be a straight pro Elijah brother. That's what he's standing on. Okay. So I'm saying, like, if he coming, like, I don't know if he coming in a way of being coming out of the way of brother or coming in a way trying to be sarcastic. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know how when dealing with them people, especially them people who so-called pro Elijah, I don't care if you dealing with straight Elijah Muhammad teaching. If you on a camp that ain't pro Elijah, they're gonna try to find an error in something. You know, whether if you with Minister Farrakhan, Silas, New World, whatever persuasion you dealing with in the teaching, if you ain't so-called independent pro Elijah, a lot of them brothers like they trying to find errors like they writing is that. I was like, that's not. I told that brother, you ain't even dealing within there. I understood what he was saying. All right. But I'm taking this that like you don't even respect the science behind it. You because you talk negative about the father. You say you have you don't dealt with God and stuff like that, but you take your stance against the father. You don't respect him like that. Now, with the brother I know coming with respect, I deal with that situation different.
Right. What you mean when you say he disrespects the father? Like you mean disrespect as in like just calling him Clarence 13X disrespect, or like he a bitch ass nigga, like, you know, like that type of disrespect.
No, I mean like respecting the wisdom that he built, like him standing on his godhood. You know, a lot of brothers that's in the nation, they don't respect that.
Right. I mean, I'm in the nation, but I respect the father because I came up, you know, on that side of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? I came up under the, you know, nation of gods and earth or whatever.
But I'm saying that's a difference. What I'm saying, that's a difference. You ain't coming out like you know how them brothers be. The pro Elijah Muhammad brothers, they be all, yeah, it ain't the messenger such and such, quote, yeah, it ain't this, it ain't that. None of us are, even if we've been doing this for 40 years, ain't nobody 100% right all the time. People gonna make error. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, I can stand to be corrected. None of us are better than none of us. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to this wisdom. So
right. I was gonna say, I mean, you know, just some of your posts though, like like some of the stuff you be saying though, like Elijah done already broke that down. Elijah done already gave the understanding. I mean, now if brothers don't want to accept what the messenger said, then I mean, hey, that's on you. But some of the things that the nation of gods and earths that y'all be saying, the messenger done broke that down already. But because y'all don't know what the messenger said concerning that, y'all never been to the mosque or been to study God class or anything like that.
I done been through the nation and temple and everything like that. But see, Elijah Muhammad, the messenger, said things that everybody was like, even like you when you go to school, right? Your teacher saying something, right? Or your parents telling you something that's some Jews, but you listen to it, but you really don't listen to it. It really like bypass you. A lot of brothers, they take what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say on surface. They don't really listen deep to what he's saying or go back and get the proper understanding. He made us say a lot of things that we have to be God.
I'm saying, are you generalizing, like you specific brothers that you know do this, or are you just saying this is what the Nation of Islam does as a whole?
Not all.
Because don't get me wrong, there are some dumb, deaf, and blind Negroes in the Nation of Islam. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say no, they are. No, of course, like Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad told us, in every cipher there's an 85%, there's a 10%, there's a 5%. So yeah, there's a lot of spooked out niggas in the mosque. I seen them myself. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm not even saying like, I'm saying like there's a lot of things, like for example, like I said before, people who quote unquote pro Elijah, right? You could point things at them that Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, right? Just because it's not in agreement with their theology and the way how they see it, they're gonna try to say it's wrong and error. The message did not say that. That's the point I'm saying, particularly to people like that. It already was said, but they either overlooked it or really they paid attention to that. For one, you know, the messenger was a plain talker. So when he would say certain things, some people would, you have to really listen to understand what he's saying, especially if you're not familiar with Southern vernacular.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like people say something from the South. If you don't really know what that means, like what they said, what that means, you understand what I'm saying? Because you're not used to the vernacular. So a lot of people miss that, or they choose not to accept that part. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, that can be true. That can be true. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I mean, one thing about it, just like Minister Farrakhan, the messenger taught extensively on a specific subject. Like, in other words, say for instance, you know, the mother plane. You know what I'm saying? Let's just, you know, for instance, he taught several times on that, you know what I'm saying? Wrote many articles on that in Muhammad Speaks, and he did many lectures, you know what I'm saying? And had plenty of table talks where, like, there was one time where some of his ministers at his home in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, at the palace or whatever, they asked him, they was like, yo, this mother plane thing, is it a metaphysical teaching? Is it, you know, spiritual? Is it, or is it like some real, you know? And the messenger just looked at him with a cold, hard stare, like, the mother plane is real. You know what I'm saying? And then we know in the Nation of Islam, mostly everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught, it's like a trinity. It's like you look at it you could look at it on a mental, you could look at it on a physical, and you could look at it on a spiritual aspect. You know what I'm saying? All of his teachings pretty much. So that's a big body of information that brothers gotta, you know what I mean, sift through in order to come to the correct, you know, understanding of it. But when you said the other day, like, okay, well, we're religious, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad ain't never say that the Nation of Islam is a religious organization.
No, in the way that he brought it, when he brought the knowledge and the information to the people, in the way that he brought the structure, is fashioned in a religious manner. He was teaching God science, but the way how it's fashioned to okay, he giving like you got the restricted laws, you got if you do this, you'll get put out in F class or C class, whatever. Like it was built in a structure like that. I understand it was done for instilling discipline and building up different moral characters, and within that fact, it's always a methodology behind anything to reach people, especially people in that time. Most people took it as religion. This is why Wallace was able to come in and deceive the people and get the people to agree with them, because they were dealing from a spiritual aspect. They wasn't alone when the messenger said in 74, you got to stand up and be gods. People was looking for, who's going to be the next leader? Who's going to stand where they're looking for Minister Farrakhan or whoever? That's why they went ahead and fed into what he was saying. Fed into the method. And Wallace fed on that methodology. He came and he know, they spiritual. He would test them to see where they was at. And once he did, that was the test. Now, before the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, most of the believers at that time, he was teaching that, but it was more practicality. People was building, people was working. You had different resources. People was coming to the nation. Everybody wasn't coming to the nation that time just for the spiritual part. It was coming because it was economic opportunity. Everybody wasn't drawn to the spiritual aspect of the teachings. Everybody had their own particular reason of coming in. Now I see more. The reason why I say it became spooky, I see more people focus more on the spiritual aspect. More say in that aspect now. More than the things of attracting people or dealing with different day-to-day realities, getting people to come in and listen to you more. You understand what I'm saying? Like more people are focused on the spiritual aspect. Not all of them.
But I was gonna say, I don't think that's a bad thing that we're focused on the spiritual aspect of it. I mean, but it has to be coupled in with the knowledge. The reason why the Nation of Islam fell after the messenger departed, and I think I was building on this once before on my other channel or whatever, but brothers just had faith. You know what I'm saying? But the faith wasn't really, it wasn't backed by study. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you Elijah Muhammad, let's just say, you here right now. So if you say something about the mother plane or the grafting of the white man or whatever you say, if there's something I don't understand or whatever, I could always, you right there. I can come ask you, hey, brother, hey, what did you mean by, I'm not going to go. What you want me to do is go study for myself. After you told me what you told me, what the idea that a teacher would want is for the student to go now and do some more research on what I said to you. But a lot of our brothers didn't do that back then. And to show and prove that, where it was easy for Wallace to sit right in and say, hey, this is the real Islam. That what my father was telling y'all, it wasn't real. This is real. My father ain't no messenger of Allah. Fard Muhammad ain't no God in person. Y'all ain't no gods either. We Muslims, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of our people fell for that because very little had that knowledge. At one time coming up in the nation, I thought Malcolm was void of that knowledge as well when he went and said that he was going to start practicing Sunni Orthodox Islam. But come to find out years later that, Malcolm already knew that Islam was bullshit. He was just doing that to gain favor with the civil rights movement.
That was what you gotta understand. Malcolm was a player, a hustler.
Right,
he was a pimp. What it was, that was deceptive intelligence.
Yeah. I agree.
And say, I'm coming into the new Islam and all that. His ideology ain't changed at all. That just was deceptive intelligence.
Right, but when Malcolm put that out there, it wasn't to really deceive people in the nation as Imam Warisuddin Muhammad. His intention was to deceive people who were believers. Malcolm put it out there because, his job was easy. He was just trying to deceive Negroes in the civil rights movement. So if he come now and say, you know what, all white people ain't devils no more. I take that back. I went over to the East. I made Hajj and, Umrah with the Muslims over there. They had blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't believe that no more. And they fell for it. But the thing is, what the messenger gave us is really not a religion. It's a spiritual system. It's an ancient African spiritual system, a Kushite spiritual system, if you want to be technical, because if you go back and look at, you know, the Kushites and what they did as far as like religion and how they paid homage to the Creator, it's almost the same thing. You know, the way they make dua, the way they, you know what I'm saying, do their rakats and they, you know, everything. So this is the reason why we say that Islam is just the rejuvenation or the renaissance, if you will, of all of what we had in Africa before. All that shit we was doing back then. This is the perfected, and this is the reason why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said Mecca is the root of civilization. He means the root of the righteous civilization. Righteous because our people were righteous before, but it was things that kept throwing us off. So it's like, you know how you trying to perfect something, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it until you eventually perfect it. This is the reason why Allah says in the Quran, this day, he tells Muhammad, I've perfected for you your religion or your deen, and I've given to you Islam as a religion. As a religion. So why did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad give us Islam as a religion? He did that because, well, he knew the white man had us in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? So he had to bring us to true Christianity, which is Islam. You know what I'm saying? And even that goes to Minister Farrakhan today. Minister Farrakhan don't even have to bring the Christians into Islam if he don't want to. He could keep them right there in the church, but just try to change their theology, change their ideology. That's really all it is. Once you could change a person's ideology and their thinking off of a mystery God concept, then, I mean, really, you could practice whatever you want to practice. I don't care what religion you are. You know what I'm saying?
The thing, like I was saying before, like all religions, if we're going to say religion, you can find contradictory or error because